YG almost named the biggest girl group in the world after a monster. Not a metaphor, an actual rejected name, Baby Monster. And here's the part that'll mess with your head, YG liked that name so much, they didn't throw it away. 7 years later, they used it for a completely different group. Today we're breaking down the 3 names that almost replaced Blackpink, and why the one they picked means something most fans have never actually understood. Before the world knew Jennie, Jisoo, Rosé, and Lisa as Blackpink, YG's internal trainee footage referred to them by a completely different name, Pink Punk. This wasn't just an early working title thrown around in meetings. Jennie's own practice videos from her trainee years are labeled with it. For a while, this was the group. Same girls, same choreography, different identity entirely, right up until the lineup itself got rebuilt from 9 trainees down to 4. When YG sat down to finalize the name in 2016, Jisoo later revealed in a press conference that 3 options were on the table. Pink Punk, the name they'd used for years. Magnum, a name that sounds more like a cologne than a girl group. And Baby Monster, a name that would have made these 4 the cutest, most intimidating group in K-pop history. Any one of those 3 could have been etched into K-pop history instead of the name we know today. Pink Punk made the most sense on paper. It already existed, fans had seen it, trainees had trained under it for years. So why drop it? Because by 2016, the entire lineup underneath that name had changed. Pink Punk was built around a 9-member concept, with trainees like Kim Yeonbi and Jang Hana as part of the vision. When YG cut that lineup down to the 4 girls we know today, keeping the old name would have kept the ghost of a group that no longer existed. They needed something that represented the new 4, not the old 9. Here's where this story gets genuinely wild. Baby Monster wasn't just discarded and forgotten. In 2023, 7 years after it was rejected for these 4 girls, YG Entertainment used the exact same name for their next major girl group. Baby Monster is a real, active YG group right now. Which means the name almost given to Blackpink ended up defining an entirely different generation of YG trainees instead. Somewhere in a boardroom, someone at YG genuinely loved that name enough to save it for later. Now here's the part most fans get wrong. People assume Blackpink is just 2 colors mashed together for branding. It's not. A YG representative explained the name was chosen specifically to say that pretty isn't everything, positioning the group as a team defined by talent, not just visuals. Black represents their edgier, girl crush side. Pink represents their more feminine, vibrant side. 2 contradictions stitched into one name, which is exactly why the group has spent a decade oscillating between fierce concepts like Kill This Love and soft, glamorous ones like Ice Cream, without ever feeling inconsistent. The name wasn't a branding accident. It was the entire concept, hidden in 5 syllables. Think about how different the last decade of K-pop looks if YG had gone with Magnum or kept Pink Punk. Would DDU have hit the same if the group was called Magnum? Would Coachella have booked Baby Monster as a headliner in 2023 if that name was already taken by these 4? The name Blackpink wasn't just a label. It became shorthand for an entire aesthetic philosophy that shaped everything from their music videos to their fashion campaigns. A different name might have meant a different concept, a different sound, maybe even a different 4 girls entirely. So next time someone tells you a name doesn't matter, remind them that the difference between Blackpink and Baby Monster might have been the difference between a global cultural phenomenon and a group that never made it past their debut year. If this blew your mind, subscribe, because next we're covering the actual Baby Monster group YG built years later, and how much of Blackpink's original DNA ended up inside them. Comment below, which rejected name would you have actually liked? See you in the next one.